Welcome to another presentation at the East Trade Winds, hosted by Bernie Franz Grote and Wayne Pratt. The presentation today is titled Lisa Godin's Roadmap to Resilience. Our guest is Lisa Godin from Brilliantly Balanced. Struggling to stay energized and focused while running your business? Lisa has solutions that actually work. Lisa is the founder of Brilliantly Balanced, a wellness coach and nutritionist who supports entrepreneurs and professionals in regaining energy, managing stress, and feeling like themselves again. With a background in education and holistic nutrition, Lisa combines mindset tools, nutritional strategies, and hormone balance to help her clients thrive in business and life.
My name is Lisa, and I am a health and wellness mindset coach. I help you get healthier habits by working on your mindset, along with all the other healthy habits that we should be taking. If you have been online recently, gone on social media, and had a look at where we are moving or what we should be doing to have healthier habits, then you have been bombarded with all kinds of information. However, none of it is really actually new. From drinking water to getting in 10,000 steps a day, training 3 to 6 times a week, so lifting heavy. If you're a real keener, every day would be best. And then, of course, who hasn't heard about protein and some more protein? And then, if you're like me and you are a woman in your late 40s, then you know that women's hormones are all the talk. Actually, it is the fastest growing industry currently happening in the health and wellness world is women who are moving into a different season of life. And then on top of all of that, we have a family, we have friends, you may even possibly have a life, and you are trying to start a business, grow a business, run a business. Today, more than ever, entrepreneurs are struggling with mental health and burnout. If all of us maybe haven't gone through that, we definitely know somebody in the entrepreneurial world who is going through that. So, we know that regular exercise and eating healthy does all the good things like creates consistency. It helps you reduce stress. It gives you energy. We know all of this. So why aren't we actually doing it? What is stopping us from doing it? How many of us have tried a free challenge, like a yoga challenge, like a gratitude challenge, like an eating or a balanced plate or whatever? There are so many challenges out there. Just like I had to clean out my email box, there are all these different challenges that are out there. Or how many of us have downloaded an app, a food tracker, a workout app, or have even spent hundreds, possibly thousands of dollars to have a curated program where they tell you what to eat, when to eat, how to exercise, and when to exercise. All of this to find ourselves right back at the beginning when the challenge ends or the program is done, or you've actually burnt out from this. Fun fact, in 2013, fitness apps have been downloaded more than 850 million times. This is a booming industry right now. So, what is missing? Why can't we continue on? Or what is stopping us? And in my opinion, it is mindset. It is the key ingredient that is missing from any program we ever try out there. And that just doesn't go from health and fitness. This is generally across many areas of our life, from business to relationships. We don't spend enough time working on the toughest muscle to train, which is between our two ears. So, mindset beliefs could be old beliefs we have about ourselves. So, for myself, I was kicked off the volleyball team. So, does that mean I'm not an athlete? No, it just means I got kicked off the volleyball. I wasn't good enough to compete at AAA volleyball. Maybe because I'm only 5'3". I don't know. Or we have what we call a fixed mindset. Yeah, we've all read a book about mindset. And we all want to believe we're working on it. But if all we had to do was read a book, I would be rich because I have read enough books about investing and growing a business. So we are struggling with having a fixed mindset versus a growth mindset. We struggle with comparison syndrome. So we look at our chapter 1 and we're comparing it to somebody's chapter 15. If I look at someone like Bernie, imagine I'm putting myself up against somebody who's been in this industry of creating podcasts and comparing myself to that. And then my very favorite of all time is the all or nothing mindset. We jump in, we do it all. We do everything just to find ourselves burnt out because there's a bump along the way, a bump in the road. And once we don't do something once, then we give up because we realize that we didn't take it slowly or gradually. All or nothing is something that I think most of us struggle with, if I'm being honest. How do I know all of this information? In 2013, I myself was going through a burnout. I had taken a sabbatical from my job. I was a high school teacher at that time. I had 2 young boys who were playing AAA football, so I lived on that football field 7 days a week. My husband was working in another city and commuting home every 2 weeks. And then who was I if I wasn't a teacher? So I continued to work building curriculums, building programs for my school board. And all of that came to a screeching halt on November 13th, 2013. I ended up going into a diabetic coma. I'd been diabetic at that time for a little over 25 years. But because of the burnout and the impact that it was having on my body, I ended up going to a coma, driving 100 kilometers an hour. I flipped my car and over top of 2 lanes of traffic, landed on the other side, and got rushed to the hospital. 2 hours later, I was discharged with a scratch on my finger, a concussion, and a prescription for Oxycontin because I was gonna be in so much pain. Fast forward a month and a half later, I had decided not to start the oxys because I've been watching enough A&E intervention to be able to host my own intervention at that time. And I found myself laying on my living room floor and I said out loud, what do I need to do to help this body heal and improve? And I had an overwhelming sensation that I just needed to get up and start moving. This is where my mindset shifted from working out to be thin or strong or a number on the scale, but instead shifting it to what can I do to benefit myself and my health? Told my husband about it the next day at the grocery store. He was like, Lisa, you are walking around like a 90-year-old woman. There's no way you're going to be able to do this. And when we came out, there was a Zumba card on my windshield. The only stipulation was that she only spoke English in the very, very French town I lived with. And I knew it was a sign and I knew I had to make a change. So January 7th, 2014, I signed up for my very first Zumba class. And as they say, the rest is history. So on this, people ask me all the time, Lisa, you had this major accident, and of course you wanted to change. Your life flashed before your eyes. Quite honestly, I'd been in the hospital for longer for other things related to diabetes, and I never wanted to change. This came from making the shift to health rather than, like I said before, being something. I set myself up with 4 mindset tricks. One was doable goals. I didn't start out working out 6 times a week and eating like a vegan and doing 10,000 steps. I started with one small doable goal, which was the Zumba class, and I focused solely on that. Then I spoke to myself like a friend. We talk all the time about we're our biggest enemy, we're our greatest enemy. I had to switch that talk. If my son came to me and said, I can't do this, I'm not good enough at this, What would I say in return to him? Would I tell him to quit school and be like, you suck at math? Get out while you can. No, I had to change how I was speaking to myself. I had to set boundaries. Boundaries in the health world is like confetti on a cake. It's everywhere and it's all over the house as well. I had to set boundaries. I had Zumba class 2 times a week. Sorry, do not call me. Do not text me. The house is burning down. Please call 911 first. They'll find me. And then the most difficult of all in the mindset game is I had to start visualizing who I was and who I wanted to be and start making and working towards that vision of myself rather than where I was right now. What I offer in my program and what I am helping people with is exactly that. Yes, we work on healthy habits like getting active or working on food. I work on sleep. I even work on perimenopause. But I walk through 6 pillars of mindset. Sustainable, small, consistent actions, things that you can actually do in your life, not the program that tells you when and how to eat, but we work on what works for you at that time. And then we transform the mindset from a fixed mindset into a growing mindset. We work on resiliency when that bump in the road comes along. How can we move past it and get over it? Ownership. We got to take responsibility for where we are, for our actions, and for how well we've done. And then we nourish our body, our mind, our spirits, and then growth. We're working on progress over perfection, all while incorporating these habits into our lives. We're trying to do too much too soon without working on who we actually want to become. We're trying to fit somebody else's life into ours, essentially. So if you are interested, have questions, just want to say, hey, I have a lot of people that reach out and ask me if they should start doing apple cider vinegar tablets. The answer is no, please don't. Save yourself the money. It's not going to cure anything in your body. If you want to try it, go for it. Questions, you can reach out to me by email, my website, LinkedIn is just Lisa Godin, and then, of course, on social.
Unlock the full potential of networking with East Trade Wins. Are you eager to connect with our esteemed guest speaker and delve deeper into the ever-expanding universe of connections? Simply scan the QR code now and embark on a journey of endless opportunities. Join us at East Trade Wins, where we gather online via Zoom every Tuesday from 8 to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Whether you're a seasoned professional or just starting out, you're welcome to connect with us. Seize the moment, register for free, and start exploring today. Fancy sharing your insights as a guest speaker? We're looking for you. Reach out to Wayne Pratt to ignite your speaking journey. Email him at wayne@motivateyou.ca or connect with Wayne on LinkedIn. Don't wait, take action, and be a part of a global community that's shaping the future of business networking.